What's going on, you guys? So I just gave you a little hint of what we're going to be doing today. It's a pressing motion. So we're comparing yoga, Chaturanga pose, movement to the push-up that we do in the gym. Those two movements, which are very similar, are done so poorly. And it's kind of something that's a problem because I see people who are injured, who have shoulder injuries, low back injuries, and they do this movement wrong. So we're going to show you how to do them right and how they're so similar.
Yeah.
So first thing, we have this lovely lady here,
Yogi.
Susie.
Susie, Team Mote.
So, that's right. So the similarities between a Chaturanga position and a push-up is that the top of the position is the same, top of a push-up. It challenges your midline, and both movements have to load the bigger joint first, which is your shoulder. So I'll have Susie demonstrate the Chaturanga position. So her butt is squeezed, her heels are together, her chest is pushed away, her midline is being challenged, right? This is the same as the push-up. And she's gonna load her shoulders first to just show that hinge. Exactly. So now show the full Chaturanga. Good?
Press back up.
Awesome. So, and then now I'll demonstrate the actual push-up. So it looks very similar, except you'll be learning some differences here in a minute. So midline is the same, hinge forward, elbows are down, chest touches the ground, and I press back up. So as you can see, they're very similar. And Sophie is going to talk about the differences.
So the major difference is if you were able to pay attention in this video, or in this moment when Susie did the Chaturanga and Dr. Larson did the push-up, was the elbows. So the biggest difference is that in a Chaturanga, so if I can have Susie take the Chaturanga, is your elbows are not going to go out to the side. Your elbows are actually going to stay in, close to the rib cage. So we'll have her do that one more time. Nice. Elbows stay in, they hug into the rib cage, and exhale, she presses up. That's the biggest difference in our Chaturanga versus a push-up. Elbows.
Yep, so with a push-up, your elbows are at a 45, still creating torque in those shoulders, but they're not hugging the rib cage.
The other thing that is important to take into account is the descent. That it's important that you keep that midline and that alignment of the spine the entire time that you are descending down in the Chaturanga and even the push-up. So the next thing we're going to go over is the faults, the common mistakes that we see in Chaturanga. So I'm going to have Susie take the top of a push-up. And the first thing we see is at the top of a push-up, we see improper spinal alignment. So if I can have Susie sag in her low back, yeah. So the sagging in the low spine, this is no engagement of the low spine. So what I'm going to have her do is come back to a regular top of a push-up, properly aligned spine. And the other common mistake that we see is people only load the front of the shoulders. And they forget that the shoulders are also back here. So if I can just have Susie show what that looks like, dumping into the front of the shoulders, like that, just like that.
And this happens with people doing push-ups as well, it's the same. So it's not good because the anterior shoulder doesn't have a lot of tissue there. There's literally a ligament, the anterior deltoid, and that's it. So you want to load the whole shoulder joint. So the fix to this push-up Chaturanga position would be, go ahead and get into the top of the push-up Chaturanga position, is that people maintain that midline, so butt squeezed, right, rib cage is tucked, nice and strong shoulders, the entire range of motion, whether you're going in 90 degrees or elbows at 90 or all the way down, and that you load that shoulder complex first. So go ahead and descend to 90 degrees. Good, so she wants to maintain that midline and then press back up. And that is the hardest position, going from your knees, for most people, is to be able to maintain, when pressing up and coming down, that midline. So what I challenge you guys, and we talked about this, is when you're doing this position, to know where your midline starts to change. Like, be mindful about when it starts to change, because doing, humping the ground or doing the worm kind of push-up is not sexy. And it's not sexy for your midline either, or your shoulders. So, would you agree?
I would agree, and not only is it not sexy, but it's also very bad for your back.
Awesome.
And you're going to be creating more injury in the body. And if we believe that we want to create, from a yoga perspective, more liberation, more freedom, or to feel good in our bodies all day long, we want to prevent low back injury.
So liberate yourself from the worm and know where your spine starts to change and build strength in the range of motion, the proper range of motion you have, all right? Stay tuned for the next one, you guys. Thank you.